The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended trading hours on key US shares and competitive spreads, all on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.
Stock of the day is IperionX, so remaining in the smaller end of the market. So it is a producer of titanium. It's used in critical materials. So the US Department of Defense, now called the Department of War, it's got quite the ring to it, has just delivered a $25 million US to IperionX as part of a previously announced $47.1 million package. So the funding, it says, will help it accelerate its titanium production. Hyperion is building out a fully integrated titanium supply chain from the minerals to the final metal to be used in products. So even though that was sort of a pre-announced deal, the share price has responded accordingly. This is yet again, Dean, one of those companies that is really playing into that defense thematic. Is there still upside to come?
Look, potentially. I'm still reeling over the Department of War. I didn't know that. So look, I mean, it's got a cap of $2.5 billion, about $100 million in cash. They've got obviously a big titanium resource called the Titan project over there, and they're just commissioning a titanium production plant. Kind of always worry about commissioning of kind of new technology plants, that they never quite go as smoothly as possible. The market appears to be factoring in some, pretty strong performances. They've got good kind of end clients, including Ford and Lockheed Martin. So there is a lot to like about this. The valuation I find pretty scary, but if you've got a bunch of parochial Americans that want to onshore their titanium supply, then you can understand why they're applying what probably in the US basis is a relatively modest valuation. I feel like this is just a little bit outside my knowledge base to make a firm assessment of, but from what I know, I probably wouldn't be investing at these levels, given it's all pre-production. There's no real revenue coming in for that $2.5 billion valuation, and potentially a requirement for additional cash at some point, probably in the near future.
So you would be a holder if you're in it, or would you sell and take some profits?
I'd be sensible like Luke and probably take a few profits if I'd been smart enough to get into it a year or two ago.
Thank you, Dean. Let's find out what Luke Winchester of Merewether Capital has to say about this one.
Oh, look, I agree. This is well and truly outside of my pay range. I get the thematic. There's actually a few of these sort of, critical minerals, additive powder companies. Like, clearly the US is ramping up or onshoring of this capability, and there's a few companies really taking advantage of it. All of them, though, are sort of pre-production, pre-commercialization, and as Dean points out, it's really hard to sort of get a feel for, other than just knowing you've got government support, which is a good backstop, I suppose. Like, what does revenue and profits and cash flow actually look like as these businesses scale? It's hard to say, and I don't think anyone, obviously you can have some models and have some guesses, but it's really hard to sort of flesh it out. So I'm the same. You have a run like that, super hot thematic, take some profits if you've been lucky enough to be in this one, especially if you've been there for more than a couple of years. But there's a lot of moving parts to this. Year to date, it's already burned $50 million, still ramping production, still more to come. And I agree with Dean. I think at some point, or maybe government funding gets them all the way there. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of equity to finish this one out.
Got it. Thank you, guys. That is the stock of the day. IperionX, take some profits.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.